Good morning. We are at the repeater site. Today is the 16th of April 2005. Here is a pile of junk that is going to be organized. A lot of it might be useful, a lot of it might be junk, but the target today is to make a little bit of headway on this particular pile. Let's take a look at the rest of the site. As you can see, there's been a lot of limbing done. We've parked the property up a little bit, which is a term that I gather means that the trees have been limbed up to a height of 15 feet, and all small trees have been taken out. The small trees soak up a lot of nutrients and water that the larger trees need, and in drought conditions, we sacrifice the small trees instead of letting them continue to compete with the larger ones. There's the tower, still here. I don't think we've done any work since our last visit on the tower facility, or the tower itself. There's another pile of stuff that I'm going to try to at least neaten up today. I have a garbage can turned over there. And over here next to this building, it looks like Critter is dug some sort of home. So I'm going to try to investigate, and we might end up putting out some traps or bait. Not sure which at this point. For our repeater site, as you can see, it's lying on the ground. It looks to be complete, but should probably be up off the ground. There's some flexible conduit over there. So that's going to be another item on the agenda. And the last segment of work is these large water barrels. You can see one here and another one or two up here. These need to be emptied and cleaned, and a new stand. You can see the old wooden stand that this one in particular is on top of. That stand is going to get broken down today. It's rotted and not in good shape. But what we're going to do is we're probably going to move these barrels, we're going to keep them, and we're going to move them back to a more central location and try to construct a holder, some sort of little house for them. Nothing fancy, probably similar to what you're seeing here. But it's going to be a more central location, probably, you know, somewhere in this area. You know, it's going to be out of the way, off to the side, so that trucks and people, crews, can get through. But we're going to move it from its location off at the corner of the property back towards the buildings. Okay, well, we're at the halfway point of the 2-hour work session today, and what I've done is I've started the disassembly process for these water tanks. I went ahead and took up the hose that runs around the perimeter, or part of the perimeter of the property. It's in several large pieces. It's been chewed through by gophers. I think that this was an irrigation system, but we're probably going to want to rethink that, given the landscape currently, very limbed and clear, and directions from CDF and other people on how to keep your property fire safe. So we're going to have to look into that. We are going to move these tanks. We're not going to get rid of them. Another update: the backup tower here is a little too heavy for me to move by myself. It does need to be up on something, and we do have enough excess material here to where we can set it up on some nice blocks. And let's see, I found some more flexible conduit and put it there. And the pile is shrinking, as you can see. Now there's a lot of junk that I'm creating. I'm creating a large junk pile. I'm really hoping to get this out of here today. I may have to call for help though. Okay, and I'll talk to you a little bit later after I've done some more work. Drawing to the end of our work session today, you can see that the pile is gone. The jacks for the trailer are next to the trailer. Some of the conduit was put with the existing conduit pile. The rest of the conduit is not salvageable. It's either heavily kinked or has become cracked or was too short of a length to where it didn't really look like we'd ever get a chance to use it. A lot of metal, rotten wood, and debris is now ready for trash pickup. That's going to be the next stage of this particular day. And the site generally looks a little bit better. Okay, some of the wood from the pile is stacked here in the corner. This table probably needs to go. It's falling in, served us well. Maybe we can construct a new one. And over here in this section is conduit. This is existing conduit, salvaged conduit, conduit from other parts of the site, and some metal that look like it might be useful. This is a temporary thing. What I'd like to do is take all of this out, count everything, and find a way to store it. It might end up being in the storage container. However, until we get that installed, we're going to need to make this look a little bit better. Here's where the two emptied water barrels are. They're right by one of the repeater buildings in the shade. We don't have running water up here, so the cleaning process will have to happen another time. However, these guys are moved down into the central location, central area of the site. And the other two barrels that are still up at the top of the property, up at the corner, they're wired in place, and I don't have anything to cut the wires with me. So we will take care of those next time. Here is the pile of trash. It's immense, at least to me. Took about an hour and 45 minutes of work to sort everything on the site. Most of this is from the large pile in the location where the steel container is going to go. However, some of it came from all over the site. Almost all of it is junk. There are some things that probably could be useful in the distant future, such as odd pieces of conduit or metal piping, but I think we should probably switch to just-in-time inventory control up here rather than just in case. We have limited area, limited storage, and the storage container will rapidly fill up with all sorts of things. This class of item that you're looking at right now, in my mind, doesn't qualify as something that should be stored up here long term. Identifying our needs, establishing a vision of what we want to accomplish, planning, and obtaining donations, or if necessary purchases, completing a project, and then holding a review. That's going to be more my style of site management. Okay, one last look at the tower before I head home. Back onto Birch Hill. I'm going to look all the way up to the top of the tower, taking a nice scan of our antenna system. It's very beautiful. Let's go ahead and zoom in. Oh, look at that. All sorts of antennas. There's the tippity top. And zooming back out. And panning back down. As you can see, it's a wonderful day up here. It's very mild temperatures. You can hear birds. Shady underneath the trees for the most part. And there's my vehicle. I've filled it up with trash as much as possible. I'll take care of some of the smaller and baggable items. No problem. There's the site of the future storage container. Some tools. And there's the conduit dump. Thank you for being with me today. I hope to see you soon.